This is from Sean Conant. And he said, "Dear Paula, I want to share with you a modernized version of an old recipe from my Granny Peg, American chopped suey." He said, Grammy, he called her Grammy, Peg, made her chopped suey in the traditional New England way with real ground beef. However, it's very difficult to taste any difference when using vegetarian ground beef products. Y'all, I didn't even know they existed, and I've never used them, so today is the first time ever for me. He said, honestly, my dad is the biggest meat and potato guy out there, and he loves these vegetarian products, which are a much healthier alternative. So maybe if you try this one pot wonder recipe, you could let Michael taste it, but don't tell him it's vegetarian, and let's see if he can taste the difference at all. So I'm gonna do that, Sean. So here's Grammy Peg's chopped suey. And here is the plant-based meat substitute. And y'all, it looks just like browned ground beef. I mean, this is crazy. Is Lulu whining somewhere? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She had a treat today?
Oh, like 3.
Okay.
So it's a pound of the plant-based ground beef, elbow macaroni. To me, this sounds like very close to the goulash that I make for Bobby.
It's your goulash.
I can't wait to share this recipe with Bobby because, Bobby really watches everything he puts into his body, and so does Cloud. And they in turn do the same thing with their children.
The first time you said you were making goulash, in my mind I thought, and you put it down in front of me, I was like, well, this is American chopped suey.
So that's what y'all call it, American chopped suey.
In my mind, I was thinking goulash, she's making a bunch of vegetables, I thought you were stewing vegetables or something.
So the first directions are, I tell you, a pound of elbow macaroni makes a ton. So, Sean, I'm probably not going to wind up using that much macaroni because I don't want it to overpower the chopped suey meat. So, a large white onion. All right, boil the water in a medium pot, and he recommends, straining and rinsing this with cold water, and then just set it aside. So, in the same pot that we boil the macaroni in, we're going to crumble the vegetarian ground beef. Well, it's already crumbled. That's crazy.
And it comes in the frozen section.
That's crazy. All right, so...
And 2 bags makes...
20 ounces, which would be...
I looked up the number of grams, and it's 2 bags to make 1 pound.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just go ahead and use the 2 full. All right, now let's see, what is this?
So it's plant-based, so what is it? Just a soy?
No, it says no soy, no gluten.
Soy.
I'm not really sure what it is. We need Sean here.
It's water, pea protein. What kind of pea protein is that? Let me look. PEA. Canola and sunflower oil, rice, flour, spice. Darn, I don't see how they get it that way.
14 grams of protein. It's got a lot of
That's
protein in it.
That's a lot of protein, which is really, really good.
And only 2 grams of carbohydrate.
No.
Mm-hmm. No cholesterol.
Let's look over here and see the carbs over here. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow, bad.
We're going.
Wow, bad. So, he said, add the vegetarian ground beef, black pepper, and Worcestershire sauce. So I'm not going to put all that bell pepper because I have a feeling that the grandchildren may be getting the bulk of this. All right, let's see how much.
1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon.
And I put the teaspoon down, but I guess
Okay,
you're not
fine.
going to use it.
That's 1 teaspoon, right?
Works for me.
All right, so we're gonna just brown this, although it's already brown. But I'm gonna just get it hot and probably put it back in that bowl, and then we will. What kind of fat are they using?
Well, you do have some butter that you're going to add into
Okay,
the.
melt the butter and then saute the onions and bell pepper, Italian seasoning, garlic for 4 minutes over medium heat. So as soon as this gets hot, I'm gonna put it in here. We're through with that. And we're through with the black pepper. Okay, so we got that hot. And now I'm gonna add our butter. And we're gonna saute our onions and our bell pepper. You know, I've said it so many times, but I just love, getting little notes and recipes from y'all to see what folks are doing in other places. It just, I just really, really like it. So I appreciate it, Sean. I appreciate you sharing Gammy Peg's American Chop Suey.
And he put his own spin to it.
Yes. Now, I guess you would do it this way because of people that are,
Are you going to put this in?
yes, that are trying to lessen their amount of meat that they're eating.
Well, there are just vegan. A lot of people are
Yeah, a lot of
vegan.
people. I have a lot of people saying, "Do you do any vegan things?" And
I call this a vegan recipe. So
yeah, this is kind of, I guess
it's not meat.
it's cheese and I don't
plant-based.
know. Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to add our Italian seasoning and some garlic. And Sean said to let this cook for about 4 minutes. These look good and sweated out, y'all. So now we're going to start adding our tomatoes, and we got a can of tomato sauce. I mean, over the break, we were talking about this truly is a one-pot wonder. Usually I'll cook my goulash for a long time. 2 or 3 hours. But this is so quick. All right, so we got our tomato sauce, our diced tomatoes, and now we're going to add our tomato paste.
that's a fourth of a cup.
A 1/4 of a cup. Well, this is going to make it real rich, and it's going to thicken it up for us. And I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. This is coming to a ball pretty quickly. So now I'm going to add not 1 pound of macaroni, Sean. Did your mama add that much macaroni, Eddie?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't remember?
She probably had to triple this.
Yes, Eddie is one of 9 children. So I'd say last gets the jelly class in a family like that.
Well, I know it wasn't soupy, but
It wasn't soupy.
no.
So, I mean, that's a lot of macaroni. And I'm going to add our beef substitute. Does your mother ever use anything like that? If I put all that macaroni, that's too much, I think. Maybe that's a pound cooked.
It might.
Because that would certainly make a difference. All right, so that's it, y'all. Besides the cheese, and Sean said to just stir this in until it melts. And I think he said cook it for like 5 minutes, y'all.
Not long.
Yeah, not long at all. And it looks delicious. I can't wait to taste it. This looks pretty good, y'all. Chop suey. That is so funny to me. All right, here we go. I can't tell that that's not meat. Oh, Sean did tell me to add salt, at the last to season it. It's good, Sean. Because I would let it cook a little bit longer than 5 minutes. So I'm going to pull out the lid for this particular pot and cut it down low. And Sean also said at the end, you can salt it then, because we didn't put any salt in it. And I didn't put a whole lot of pepper, in case this winds up on a child's plate.
And hot sauce, remember that was one
Oh
thing
yeah,
he doesn't
yeah.
use
He
it.
said use Frank's hot sauce, but we would use Paula Deen hot sauce in our house because that's our favorite. All right, so here we go. Sean, thank you so much for sharing, a piece of your life that meant a lot to you, having your Grammy peg. So I love it when y'all help me send love and best dishes, y'all. Hey, y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.